Alright, so Marvel Snap Card Review August 2026. I'm recording this at half midnight on Friday, the 7th of August. So I was quite ill. Had a cough the last few days. So it might sound weird, and I'm going to try and keep the sound down. I'm coughing the whole way through. So, let's begin. Alright, let's go back over our star system we established last video. 1 star, those are vanilla cards. 2 star, they're bad. 3 star, the medium, 4 star good. 5 star, something to find. Get like a general want to have card. This was it me. I've switched it up a little bit. I keep switching up every time. But in this one, uh, this only applies to the viability stars. I've got some notes here, so it's not gonna fly. But I'm hoping that even in my sickness I can add some additional stuff. So let's begin. Final fractured frontier. This is the series season press card. Uh was and I can't remember when the events are on. I know Doc Cock's already out, and he's won the events. This is like this is the cons of being a couple days late. I can't. A little bit of hindsight, but also I can't really say much. But it's better to be possibly wrong on a few fans and not have an opinion at all. That's not a proper quote. But anyway, game start, load infinity shot. Your cards have quick draw, Thanos loads again. On reveal, fire all those shots, and then there's the shots to the ball. Now you're wondering, what is quick draw? Well, if you played Hearthstone, in the year of our Lord 2022, you probably know what quick draw does. So it's literally the exact same thing, and it's also called quick draw, which I think is quite funny. Saying that Ben Broad definitely quit Hearthstone well before this point, like 3 years before. And I don't even know if it was in 2020. I've really lost track of time. I should have checked before I actually did this video. Yeah, that's the right time. And yeah, the effects back to the first time you draw them. So that a lot of these cards have multiple effects. Spoilers, they all have quick draw. Well, not all of them, not the event cards, but most of them are quick draw. So, Final Fractured Frontier. Viability 3.5 out of 5 stars. I don't know if he's good. I've heard they actually switched fun after seeing some feedback on him. I'm not sure if he's actually proper good. I know he works with wont, which is certainly interesting. Which, yeah, of course he works with wont. On reveals. He also works with wont, but he's just lose infinity shots for whatever reason. So if you have one down, then and you have like, for example, 4 shots, then you essentially get 16 shots worth. Yeah, that's the right. It's 2 for each, and you get 2 shots. 2 shots for each one you have in this situation. You have 4. So yeah, you get 16 shots worth of things. We don't know why it doesn't use up the shots. It's not very accurate, I think. But who cares? This panels, mate. Yeah. And fun, 4 out of 5 stars. A lot of stupid stuff you can do with it. I was holding back in it because I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. Because that the gameplay loop just isn't. Playing the first card you get, playing a card you draw each turn, it's kind of dull. But the most of the fun comes from the shenanigans you can come out with. Uniqueness is 5 out of 5, obviously. I never seen before. Infinity shots, the one for the whole quick draw stuff. Yeah, and it's generally kind of decent. Overall 4.5 out of 5 stars. This isn't. Remember, go back to what I said 5 minutes ago. Really not good with time at the moment. Viability is actually what the star system is. Overall, in this situation, is how I would, on a 1 to 5, how much you'd actually want on your in your collection. Well, obviously, you have to pay money for Thanos at the moment, but obviously later on, again for six, again for possibly 5k tokens, maybe 6. Yeah. Yeah, I've got some notes here. So it's interesting but awkward. Just before I knew that one worked. Quicksilver and Domino for easy use, obviously. I wouldn't recommend Wiccan, because that just messes everything up. But obviously it starts similar to Wiccan. And yeah. I don't know how that spatial apparently is quite good because you can if you get him like the power shot that's immovable 512. And obviously the soul shot is quite good. All of these are kind of standalone good things. Except mine's just a bit iffy, but yeah. Next one. Actually, do I have anything else to say? Not really. Generic. Just kind of like an archetype defining card. So, yeah. Yeah. Jane Foster Fractured Frontier. One of your judge 4 other random characters. Plus one of yours and -1 power enemies. Quick draw, judge the worthy again. That's me tapping the cage concerned on. Viability 3 out of 5 stars. Fun 0 out of 5. I feel like I'm being a bit harsh on this, but considering the stuff you can do with Venus, obviously uniqueness 4 out of 5. And I've got an awkward spot. Quite a potential card in my notes actually. Because of it, in a hypothetical situation with Venus, you can get it it turns into a 320. Which obviously is very nice. Yeah, power spread across. And that requires all 4 of your judgments to go to your guys, and it requires you to play her on the turn you drew her. And it's a lot of ifs. And I've said here that it's better in power, which I think it is. Certainly, because you can get possibility to be a free soul. It works with power is quite good. But obviously it's has some reflection capabilities. But it's in an awkward spot where if you try and put her in one dedicated deck, such as Empower, and or on the flip side, Affliction, it strikes the awkward balance where it becomes really inconsistent. Where you can't really focus onto one goal, which is kind of stinky. And I've just realised that they've turned Mjolnir into a gun. And quite cool in the artwork. And overall 3 out of 5 stars. It's the Super Battle Pass card. I wouldn't buy it personally. Uh, I'm not even buying the Battle Pass. I'm saving money. But if you're gonna buy the Battle Pass, I wouldn't necessarily want to and it's not like previous seasons with like Venus and I don't know. It was Mary Jane last season. I'm more referring to Wilson Fisk. Yeah, it's not like Wilson Fisk and Venus, which both very strong standalone cards. I admit I was wrong with Wilson Fisk. He's actually really strong in this new archetype. That spawned around Shadowlands Daredevil. That's also a card I've underrated. In my last review, yeah, that was my last one. I didn't do any for the last couple of seasons. Uh, yeah, yeah. I wouldn't, I wouldn't. There's not like really a standout reason to buy a super pass just to get Jane Foster. You know, I mean, there's benefits to getting it. But it's not a card where I would spend the extra money to get. It's not. It's not on the level of some other cards that we've seen recently. Yeah, it's just a 3 out of 5. It's eh. You can get it if you want, but it really is just a potential card. There's so many ifs. 320 if you hit all 4 and it's on your turn and you have Venus, and there's so many conditionals. Like, well, there's better options. There's a power shot. Maybe not in the power, but certainly in affliction. Yeah, it just comes in an awkward state of absolute randomness. Where it's not like random tuck where it's the fun kind of randomness. Is this card does this card do what I want to do? Or is it just a 3-8 up to a 3-12 in points? Next one. Psylocke Fractured Frontier. On reveal, give cards in your hand that are 5 cost or more. Quick draw your whole hand instead. Your viability, 3 out of 5 stars. Fun, 2 out of 5 stars. Uniqueness, 1 out of 5 stars. Overall, 2 out of 5 stars. Maybe she's more. I'm gonna give you props. That seems to be a common theme with these third 3 cards. Now I'll give her a bit of viability. I don't really see a reason. I call it boring as dirt in my notes. And I've also accidentally took 5.5 overall away from her, but who cares? Obviously, Chamberlain's. Yeah. Yeah, that's similar stuff to Chamber. Possibly a place in Surfer. It does the same job as Sarah. I wouldn't count on it, and I don't really know if she fits in there. To be honest. And, New Thanos. Yeah. I mean, the fact that she doesn't have a lower limit on the costs of cards is always nice to have. Those cards always have a certain degree of value. Yeah. But there's not really much to say. Obviously, Surfer could. You always have to mention Surfer a little bit when it's a generic, when it's a non-archetype looked 3-cost card. But if you're playing some Surfer, you basically hit Sarah if you have her in hand. And it's like if you draw her before turn 2, and if it's on like maybe you play on turn 4 for it 2, 3, 4. not two, three, three or four. But if you draw her outside of that, it kind of becomes awkward. Maybe play on five, but surely you want to be developing your board presence so you can line up a good thing instead of relying on Psylocke. And it just kind of it's kind of like taking a good spot away from stuff if you use it. And that's just kind of maybe use Cerebral Prodigy or like Vivid Vision if you're running those, but I don't really see a good use for stuff. Uh, yeah. I mean, you could. I don't know what. I can't remember what Dex Chamber was good in, but you could probably run her in those because that lets you get them out of turn earlier, no matter what. But like you could go Chamber into Psylocke and then have that happen, but Chamber got nerfed. Is and that's not. Do you really want to be using it? I don't know. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else to say. She's kind of. Yeah, that's why I call it boring and stuff. I can't think of anything to say about it. Alright, next one. Red Wolf Fracture Frontier. On reveal, +1 power for each card in your hand. Quick draw, give your hand +1 power. This should remember. I don't get Psylocke. She's pretending to be a cowboy now, I think. She's still a ninja. She's also like the sister of Captain Britain. She's an odd thing to think about, considering she's a psychic ninja. I think I'm getting off topic here. But she's like, does she have Japanese? I honestly don't know much about Psylocke. But from you see her all these Japanese garbs and like that kind of stuff. It's just like well, with the context of she's the sister of Captain Britain. She looks like she's laughing being a ninja. I think that's kind of funny. That's completely irrelevant to this topic because it's Fracture Frontier and they're all supposed to be cowboys. So back to Red Wolf Fracture Frontier. Viability 4 out of 5 stars. Fun 1 out of 5 stars. Uniqueness 2 out of 5 stars. Overall 3 out of 5 stars. It's like Kahori, but it's a 2-1 and not 4-6. And that's actually a big difference because being a 4-6 with that effect kind of stinks. But getting out doing that for 2 power is quite strong. And obviously, if you get quick draw, then it turns to 2 power. It's not really 2 power, but technically 2 power for each card in your hand. That's gonna work somehow. And you are. What am I right side? Yeah, call him Nakia plus Kahori in 1. Probably best in that is a nonsensical sentence I have written down. Absolutely brilliant work. Da 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 da. Called best in season Asian first scene Maria Hill type synergies. I don't know who season is. You probably figure it's some up. It's like I'm just gonna treat it as a collector or sentinel. I'm gonna have to. That's not a card. Why would I write season? But anyway, so hand creation, yeah, Victoria Hill, that kind of stuff. That keeps that cards in your hands, and that keeps his value up. It's kind of in terms of fun. It's just that's actually kind of strong, but it's not. There's not really much you can do like crazy stuff with it outside of like Wong. But it's not even like a fun Wong. It's just solitaire. And obviously, uniqueness is two previous cards you used to get rid of cards. It's not really that unique, but it's not going to hurt your collection. And obviously you don't have to pay for it, which is the important thing about it. It probably is overall better than Jane Foster to have, but it's more restricted in what you can do with it. But it has the benefits of being a generically good card. Yeah. It's well with like Jane Foster, you can like do funky stuff with that. Well, I'm getting off topic. It does actually have the same. If you have certain cards in your hand, it's the same power as Jane Foster. Which is kind of wild. Yeah, it's the same power as Jane Foster. I had to check. I wasn't too sure. I don't really have much to say about it. It's just hand creation stuff. Ooh, next one. I don't like the next one. Death Fractured Frontier. On reveal, resurrect all your destroyed characters to random locations. I don't want to rate this card. I don't even have the stars in my notes. I just call it poop out butt. And obviously, get this away from me before I scream. This is the it's like Hella, but she's bad. And I already don't like Hella because Hella's awful. They don't do anything. They stockpile big cards in their hands. Then they pop Modoc and then they pop classic combo of grab Inviswoman in your mulligan, then find Modoc at some point in your life, and then find Hella, and then win. And it's just such an awful gameplay pattern to play against. And it really is just solid. It is just find 3 cards and win. And I really don't like the resurrecting X characters to random locations because of the Hella stipulations. But this is genuinely just a bad card. I hope it's not a bad card, because that has a resurrecting you destroy characters to random locations as a, that could lead to some cracked combos, hypothetically. But I'm still not gonna enjoy it, and it's still a shitty version. Sorry for swearing with Hella, and it's also just a bad card. I would almost be tempted to run Abomination over her in a destroy deck. And Abomination gets 1 more power. But I saw Regis talk about, Arnhem Venom. What are you even gonna do with your Venom, man? Like, if you compared it to Adamantium Fusion. The positive part about Adamantium Fusion is that you can do it on the same time as Fastball Special. That's the entire combo. You can't do this with Fastball Special, and it also doesn't double its power. It's too expensive, and a lot of the cards in the story outside of Nimrod get better after you destroy them. They either destroy or they're initially bad and then they get good when you destroy them. Weapon. Ooh, my Nova, my squirrels. What are you even gonna do about it? You're just gonna kill your Killmonger and then do that again. It just makes no sense, and it's so slow, and it does nothing. And even then, if you kill stuff, you kill your Deathlock. Ooh, let me bring it back with my death, and it fucking kills your Venom. It's ridiculous. It's utter nonsense. And it's awful. And it's get this away from me. This is there's in like the dream world, she's good, but she's with the existence of no. She's a shit no that backfires on like 1 in 10 games. And it's just stupid. It's awful, and it needs to die in a fire. And I'm hoping it's better than I think it is, because this would literally be a card that I would, if you decide to get this before any other card, you know, out of pure chance, I would actually cry for you. If it's like how I'm thinking it is, if it turns out how I think it was, because this is just so bad. And the art's nice. That's the only thing I'll say about positive thing I'll say about it. But this is a card that I wouldn't even really bother racing if I hadn't decided that I'd actually put all this effort in to racing all the other cards. I'm not just gonna like erase the existence of this terrible card. But it's not even a but. I just don't like this card. It's poop. Actual poop hard, but this might be the longest section actually. Just me ranting about how poop this is. You know, this is the nice part about in what world would you even like want to use this? This doesn't work with Deadpool. We've seen that from other stuff. Deadpool doesn't do that. Nimrod technically does. But why would you why would you play this over just destroying Nimrod more? You know, that's more value. And you don't it's not 5 cost to destroy Nimrod again. You know, just play Arnhem or no. Or even Destroyer. Destroyer is probably more power unless you cheat it out. Unless you cheat out Wave and you venom it, and it's like, wow, you've just brought back Destroyer. You know, why not just Arnhem or like Null or anything? Like, you either kill some other guy that you don't want it, you either bring it back and then just something like evil happens. Like in a 1 in 3 situation. Or it does nothing and it's just actual poop. I'm gonna get over it before I have a hemorrhage for how bad this is. Alright, Red Hulk, Fracture Frontier. Goodness, my cough was almost cured by how much I hate it. -1 power, breach enemy card it, quick draw +1 power instead. Viability 3 out of 5 stars. It probably is better than this, but I don't know. Final 1 out of 5 stars. That's 1 out of 5 stars over 2 5 stars. I've probably underrated this card in every aspect, maybe except not for fun. I don't really see how fun this card is. I compared it to Wilson Fisk, in which, yeah, Wilson Fisk is better in decks that you'd probably run Red Hulk Fracture Frontier. And, it really is just Shadowlands Daredevil feel. And, it's cheap high power card. The only nuance about it is that it gets worse the longer you have in your hand. But would you run this over Star Brand? Maybe replace the Star Brand. And obviously on a good day it's always it's unlikely to be less than a 3/6 at worst. You know. Would you run this? Would you run it over Jane Foster and those types of decks? Probably. Because someone have the high power. It's not really unique. I wouldn't say that. Well, obviously there's a level of being unique in Quick Draw, but I'm not really going to count that. Because that's like generic stuff. It really is just like a lizard type of deal. Except it's not ongoing, it doesn't work with, it works with 0. but it doesn't work with Sauron. And I don't really have much to say about this. It's kind of a boring card. It's a good card. Maybe I said it's a good card. I put him through, which says it's mid. It probably is better than mid, but there's not really much to say about it. It's generic, high power cards. So asking like your Sinister Six, your Wilson Fisk, your Daredevil, and I don't know what the archetype looks like, but it's just one of those cards, and they print to make it solitaire. Yeah. Alright, Dockcock Fraction Frontier. Viability 2 out of 5 stars. It's not even 2.2 out of 5. 2.5 out of 5 stars. My bad. Fun 3 out of 5 stars. Uniqueness 3 out of 5 stars. Overall 3.5 out of 5 stars. Put your leftmost card in hand on top of your deck to get a random character abilities plus 3 power. That's quite fun. It's my note said it's awkward. And it's good potential, it does. I mean if you're running a cheap deck, then the plus 3 power is quite a lot. Yeah, and you get a random character generation. It says that has good potential. Yeah, I think it does. But the thing holding it back is that I've put less than like below average. Is I don't know how many decks can actually afford to have one less draw. Maybe if you're running like Adam Warlock, it doesn't matter. But and that's you'd have to run Adam Warlock and Dockcock, and there's just some issues with it. But overall, it's a unique card. That's it's really unique. That's has an appropriate drawback to having a strong effect, and in the high, it technically is plus. It's a 2/8 on technicality, which is the worst type of 2/8, but it is technically a 2/8, and it generates random cards, so it works in Victoria hand. And I mean, it technically does work to set up Iron Lad, which is always fun. Never really think about that. But yeah. And yeah, I don't really have much else to say. The season hasn't really been that exciting, I'll be honest. It's a lot of just like either boring effects or effects that I haven't really had enough time to think about how are actually like the actual combos. Just kind of it's a perk of the old system, because I actually had to think about the combos. When I was talking about it, before I actually started talking about them, and just kind of hold this back. But a lot of these cards, they're kind of like one-dimensional in what they do, and they're also just kind of boring effects, like essentially pack for the season outside of actual finals. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Victoria Hansel got nice stuff. When I wouldn't use it with Iron and that, because that's like your entire turn 6. Maybe if like you play Galactus, Galactus Iron Lad deck, give someone out with the with the 7 power, essentially 7 power Galactus, and Howard the Duck. But not really else much to say. I do like The design is kind of like the strong part of this whole card, and there's probably some potential for funny stuff. Like if you want it, then you can put the random character on top of your deck. Oh no, that's not. No, the random characters are placed on hand. They just yeah. What about that's a stupid idea. Or maybe it does. I haven't seen any gameplay of it. Obviously, it's out already, so uh, maybe I'll correct myself if I'm wrong when I see it in play. All right. Well, oh yeah, that is a good point. Go over. Yes, this card is out already, and unfortunately, it's high voltage overdrive, and that no matter. I don't like this game, but I'm gonna still try and get 'em, but the overall gets a boost by well, no, maybe not a displayed boost, but obviously don't have to pay money for it. Don't have to play current any collector's tokens, and if you get it now, which is always a positive uh to these event cards. But yeah, it's just kind of fun little card. Maybe not the greatest card in the world, but it's certainly unique, and it's well, I'd be excited to see a good come of it. I'm gonna say that. And the last one, Hellcow Fractured Frontier. End of turn, afflict all other cards heal, -1 power. With a trivia card heal, 0 power less. I don't like how they messed up the logo on Snapman. I'm getting this out of the way first. It looked worse when I tried to get it straight from the season, and that's why I haven't done it. I want to remain consistent with it, but it's just a purple version Hellcow logo. So anyway, viability 4, 4 out of 5, final 3 out of 5, uniqueness 2 out of 5, overall 4 out of 5. And of course, event winners. Ivan is in a newer type of event, good Fracture Frontier. Wow, how original. But, I don't know how that event's gonna go. Maybe it's awful. That seems to be a common trend with new events. How they put out, where it tends to just be kind of shit to play. Sorry for that, but that kind of is not true. I hate Grand Arena. Yeah, and I keep pushing Grand Arena. I hate Grand Arena every time. Because you play the same, but you either get matched up with, either the deck's terrible, or, you run into some guy with, a cutting deck and just cast. Actually being able to modify those decks, makes them a lot better than they normally are. And if you don't do that, you kind of get screwed. I don't really want it. Just want to play these cards honestly. So, I know it's cool card idea. Of course, obvious parallels to High Evolution Cyclops. I don't know if it's still good anymore, but back in the day, very strong. Oh, I've just realised he's got gun straps as legs. That's kind of freaky. I don't remember Hellcat doing that, I'll be honest. Why do you just have him hold a gun? It's like, what's on his others into a gun? That seems like the weirdest place to go. Like, is he gonna spend? See, do they fire every time he walk? Every time he uses his front legs? It's really awkward. They don't even shoot anything, they're shooting just like red mist. Like pepper spray. Why is he pepper spray? Maybe that's why he does, he pepper sprays me. That's why they lose on power. Obviously, yeah. Obvious parallels to High Evolution Cyclops is a maybe not anymore. I haven't checked how good High Evolution is. Back in the day, it was actually really strong. And obviously apparently cage you don't want stuff to die. If you got in the back or if you got like someone else next on. This is a better reflection of a man thing, which is kind of an awkward thing to say. Man thing does put more power, I think, purely by having form of power. Uh, uh, regardless. Uh, reflection, obviously, I think it's on the rise. I haven't checked. I just come back recently. And you gotta be careful with player on it. I did note that was a funny little counter to goblins slash annihilus, which is true. These things do, the thing does actually end up killing, uh, all the goblins, the annihilus, Celine, maybe not seeing herself, but, whether she hits Celine. So, maybe do something about that. If you can afflict them with, why did they afflict them? Right, because he affects cards, right? Destroy. I got confused. The destroy effect is the cards here with 0 colors. It does, kind of help Lady Deathstrike do a thing. I think Hellcat also gets hit by that, so maybe not with the asshole. But he doesn't. Does he get hit? I've completely forgot, in fact. I can't remember if it's Deathstrike or Deathstrike. Maybe it's Deathstrike. Maybe just skip this part, skip like 20 seconds ahead. Wow, camera bearings. Oh, I actually don't do that because I haven't got my bearings back. Uh, yeah, cool card. One plus in the Troy. A lot of things actually like to have power when they're destroyed, which makes it a little awkward. Stuff like Nova. Yeah, Nova actually does solve the problem. The district does hit Hellcat, but I don't think she does that as a man. Not really much to say. Thought I had much to say about it, but it's a good card, man. Maybe not like the greatest thing to hit Affliction. I would say Scorpion and Brandy Day probably does that. And Luke Cage getting shot to death. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't say shot to death. So that's a bit racist. Uh, that in itself is racist. I'm sorry. Uh, Luke Cage getting nerfed to the ground really has helped Affliction. Because now running Luke Cage in your deck doesn't automatically kill any Affliction dreams. Yeah. But, obviously, being a better version of Haiva Cyclops doesn't require Haiva. It doesn't require you flow energy. It's quite good. Uh, there's probably ways to circumvent. Well, obviously there's ways with Luke Cage, but I mean, obviously you can just play around it and just let it sit there for a few turns. And obviously, yeah, it's got end of turn with it, so you can trigger it again, like end of turn. Like, that's a nice usage of it outside of section. But I digress. Yeah, it's kind of a fun little thing to use. Maybe not fun for your opponent, but it's quite flexible to use being end of turn. And maybe you like run. I'm going next. I'm going to keep promoting Aurora as I do. Keep up the agenda. Run as your end of turn target with Aurora. Yeah, he does hit end of turn. That's why I put Black Hat in my Aurora deck back in the day. It's not even back in the day. It's only like 6 months ago. It's not even 6 months, 7 months ago. It's winter time. But anyway, yeah, good card. Good stuff. That's the important stuff. Flexion and the sun, or yeah, let's go. Underview. Viability. 3.5 out of 5 stars. Fans, 3 stars. For Jane Foster, 3 stars for Psylocke. Red Wolf, 4 stars. Death, 0 stars. Red Hulk, 3 stars. Darkhawk, 2.5 out of stars. And Hellcow, 4 stars. Yay! And for fun, it's just a recap. I don't know what I've done. I've actually trying to make a thing out of this. I don't know why I'm dying myself. I'm gonna just go keep hanging through. Thanos 4 stars, Jane Foster 0 stars, Psylocke 2 stars, Red Wolf 1 star, Death 0 stars, Red Hulk 1 star, Darkhawk 3 stars, Hellcat 3 stars. I think this is probably the category that I've underrated the stars each card. No card really should be 0 stars for fun, but I've been a bit cynical this season. And I'd probably bump each of them up at least one in hindsight. PM Foster probably 2, maybe 3. But let's go on. You can just add that mentally if you really want to. Probably not, because no one's watching this, but. Alright, on the view, uniqueness. Fans 5 out of 5 stars. Jane Foster 4 out of 5 stars. And Power Affliction Bridge is kind of all good. But, being first of a kind. And hopefully the last of it. Because being that wildly inconsistent really does not help. Psylocke 1 out of 5 stars, Red Wolf 2 out of 5 stars, Death 0 out of 5 stars. God, I hate you, Death. Hate you in real life or who you go? That's cringe. I should edit it out, but I'm not, because I don't edit these things. One long take. Psylocke probably is above a 1 out of 5, but I'm not going to change it now. Red Hulk 1 out of 5 stars, Darkhawk 4 out of 5 stars, Hellcow 2 out of 5 stars. And on the view overall, Venice 4.5 out of 5 stars, James Foster 3 out of 5 stars, Stark 2 out of 5 stars, Red Wolf 3 out of 5 stars, Death 0 out of 5 stars, Red Hulk 2 out of 5 stars, Darkhawk 3.5 out of 5 stars, and Hellcow 4 out of 5 stars. Alright. If you're wondering where the average ratings have gone, I've moved them a little bit. But I haven't done mathematics this time because I can't be bothered. Yeah, because I'm already a couple of days late on this. I was gonna do it last night and I kind of forgot to. I was gonna do it yesterday, because it was 1 AM, and I kind of forgot to, and now I'm doing it now. Because if I keep putting off, I'm gonna never do it. Battles competitively, Hellcow, Red Wolf, Thanos. Thanos possibly better than Hellcow. Possibly. And also depend. It's kind of a big group in the middle where kind of between. Can you actually? I'm gonna say it. Before shit comes to me. All of these have potential to be outside of death, who's gonna stay there till the day I die. Hopefully. Well, not hopefully. Hopefully she doesn't. But how I've already made up my mind I'm gonna slander her till the day I die. All of these have the potential, except maybe Darkhawk, to be number one competitively. Yeah. There's always a lot of potentials. It's always a lot of ifs, buts, and cocoa nuts. Because maybe Red Wolf is actually worse than it is, and Hellcow's worse, and Master's better, and Red Hulk's better, James Boss is better, Sark's better. I'm not saying they are, but they could be under the right circumstance. That's the beauty of the card design, really. Except for when it comes to death in particular, because that's actually just poop, but I don't want to see it succeed in any way, shape, or form, because that is destroy Hela, and Hela's already awful to play against before the nerf, and Death's kind of just ripping that shit off for 5 cost. An archetype that doesn't really do that kind of stuff. It's like if they flip the cost of Hela and Modok. Yeah, I'm gonna say that now. So, yeah, imagine how bad this card would be, that Hela Modok combo would be if Hela was 5 cost and Modok was 6 cost. Genuinely. That'd be terrible. So anyway, best to worst for acquisition. Like, which ones you should get and which one you shouldn't get. Thanos obviously at the top. Maybe not spend money on him. If you're not feeling like it. I'm never gonna tell you to support capitalism. It's done. No matter how you think of it. How whether you think it's done good for society or bad for society. Your money is your money, and I'm not gonna tell you how to spend it. I'm gonna tell you how to spend your currency, but not your actual money. And the game is supported by Wales. That's the truth of the matter. And the game company's kind of greedy, but yeah, they've got to make their money somehow. And yeah, and obviously Hellcow and Doc Ock next. Maybe more focus on Hellcow. Because high voltage kind of sucks. Yeah. But Doc Ock's obviously on right now. Maybe Fracture Frontier's worse than high voltage. Hope it's not, but obviously there's Hellcow's the benefit of being the better card, in my opinion. Yeah. Obviously Doc Ock's free. Next is Red Hulk. Mostly off the benefit of Shadowlands Daredevil being a popular and strong deck at the moment. Well, maybe not strongest deck, because I haven't checked the meta ratings. But I see it quite often, and it tends to be quite decent. Yeah. And then next is Red Wolf. It's a strong card. I don't know how strong hand creation is at the moment, but it's just nice to have. It's like quite flexible. And next is Jane Foster, another flexible card. Obviously awkward. And I mean, if you wanna like risk your 5k on her, fine. You still have to pay extra on Super Battle Pass. And that's kind of knocked it down a little bit. Then I've got Psylocke. I mean, she's the current one. They can get for 6k guarantees for everyone. But obviously quite limited in what she can do. And I've got Death, which I think you should never even think of getting, because that is awful. If you want to spend your 6k on literal garbage, then I can't stop you. But I'm not gonna spend it. I'm not gonna get. And I will be enjoying my 3k to get some other bad card that I will never end up using in a serious meta. Like, what's the worst card I can think of? Mad Thinker. Yeah, I'll get Mad Thinker instead of her, and I'll be rejoicing in the fact that I'm Mad Thinker. You call him Mad Stinker, because he is kind of stink. Yeah, I'm gonna call Mad Stinker. Just had this thought. Yeah, I'm gonna revel in the fact that I have Mad Stinker, and I'm gonna play him in like 2 matches, and I'm gonna enjoy every single moment of it, because I will know that you have Death, Frontier. Keep going Fantastic, because they've got the same abbreviations to Fantastic Four. It's awful. I know illustrations are worse than branding. This is ridiculous. And yeah, I'm gonna be reveling the fact that I'm Mad Stinker, and you have a card that is worse than that you spent 6k on. I've got spent however much it is to buy Mad Stinker. Yeah. Alright. I haven't robbed the actual like proper logo. I made this myself. I think I'm quite good at this text thing. Yeah, I make all my thumbnails. This is really my graphic design is my passion. Yeah. Yeah. And I've got the ratings at the bottom. Viability 3 out of 5 stars. Yeah. I mean it's just a mid-season. Fun 1 out of 5 stars. Yeah. A lot of these cards I don't know how they don't seem to be that fun to use. Really. Maybe they're more fun than I'm giving them props to be. But I wouldn't blame you if you didn't really want any of these. Except for Thanos. I would blame you if you didn't want Thanos. And the uniqueness 3.5 out of 5s. Obviously bumped by the new keyword. But I love these cards that actually do have some unique properties to them. Even if it's quite simple in what to do. Except for death. She can die. That's kind of really just told death to die. That's so stupid. Honestly. So overall 2.5 out of 5 stars. Below average season. I would put Shadowlands Daredevil above it. Not the card, but the season. I would compare to the Apocalypse season of to like the Age of Apocalypse seasons. I would rate those higher, even if I didn't like the second one at the time. Uh, yeah. They just seemed like more unique and had more uses that were fun. And that is a weird looking Hellcat. That looks like it's like a 3D model. They use like asset flip. That's really disrespectful to the guy who did that. But I think it's true. The Nebula season pass card also looks like that. But that is a genuine kind of ugly card. Possibly the worst Nebula variant. I've got the swingy view on this card that most people don't really like. But yeah, I'm getting away with myself. Alright. Yeah. It is 1:30 in the morning, which means I've spent almost an hour on this. Maybe just over an hour. I don't remember when we stopped math classes. But, maybe I'll be back for next season. Possibly not. I think it's, judging from what I saw from, Regis, yeah, my number one Marvel Snap correspondent of the favorite YouTuber. He's has like I can't remember his channel. I was gonna say 50 times, but it's definitely more than that. Subscribers on ID. I think it's the Axis event where everyone had their goodness and evenness flipped. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So that might be fun. Red Onslaught does look really fun, and you can. I might be back. I might never be back. Uh, I really don't know my life might get busy again, like it did when I was June and July, June/July, season pass card reviews. I just couldn't get around to it because everything, my life got really busy. Yeah, so enjoy these pictures of cowboy skeleton cool images. And, alright, see you now, maybe. Hopefully not. Yeah, bye.